Hey Galaxy users, I'm going to show you some awesome sound tips and tricks for your device, some of which are so unique that even seasoned users might not know about them. So stick around till the end because I guarantee you'll learn something new. Guess what? You can change your sound settings quicker than you think. Normally you'd go to settings and then tap on sounds on vibration, right? But here's a nifty shortcut. Just swipe down and give the sound icon a long tap. Now you're in the sound settings. Pretty cool, huh? Here's a tip. If you're connected to a Bluetooth device and want to switch audio back to your phone just temporarily, don't turn off the device or Bluetooth. Instead, swipe down, tap media output, and choose your phone. To switch back, just select your device again. This is how we're supposed to change audio sources quickly. Whether you're into watching content online or gaming on your phone and you use your headphones, there's a way to enhance your listening experience by making it more immersive. And it's really easy to do so. If I now go to the sounds on vibration again and then scroll down and go to sound quality and effects, I can turn on the Dolby Atmos, and if I tap it, there's a hidden menu here with 4 options. You can try auto, but at least when it comes to listening to music, I've noticed that if I select auto as opposed to music, the higher frequencies have a more noticeable boost. So for example, hi-hats can sound a bit harsh, so I prefer to select exactly the type of content I'm listening to instead of the auto. Notice the UHQ upscaler that's turned off. Besides Dolby Atmos, this feature is one of the best sound features of your phone nobody knows about or nobody uses it anymore. But why is that and what's it do anyways? Well, as the name suggests, it's an upscaler, so it simply increases the resolution of your music or whatever you're listening to digitally, and I love it. The reason it's off is because it only works if you use wired headphones. And probably nobody uses this feature anymore because headphone jacks are gone these days, at least on higher end phones. So does that mean you can't use it at all if your phone like the S24 Ultra doesn't have a headphone jack? Actually, you can. You just need to buy an adapter for your phone. So check out the link in the description plus my other favorite tech products. And please subscribe and like if this is your vibe, and check out the videos tab to see what kind of content we make. All right, for this next step, we have to go back a couple of steps before out of sheer excitement you damage your hearing with those earlier tips. So just go one step back and then go to volume and tap the 3 dots at the top right corner and tap media volume limit. This is another one of those secret Samsung Galaxy sound features that I always turn on for the exact same reason I just mentioned, to protect my hearing. Just bear in mind that this doesn't work if you're not wearing earbuds or headphones. So just turn on the switch and set a custom limit. I personally leave it at the default level because anything above that, I'm just saying it's okay to damage my hearing. And this is loud enough, trust me. Then you can set a pin code so nobody but you can change this limit. This next tip is actually related to the previous one in that it helps you monitor for how long and how loud you've been using your headphones. In other words, it's a volume monitor. So now I'm going to the settings, then digital well-being, and then scroll down to the loud listening time. And you can already see it says normal and even how much of the total listening time was loud. Then I can tap it and see a daily and weekly average loudness report in decibels. Pretty cool, right? All right, here's a quick one. If you put your phone on silent and then you forget to unmute it and miss calls and notifications, here's a cool feature that'll fix this problem. When you're in the home screen, swipe down, then tap and hold the sound icon, and then turn on the temporary mute switch and set a time for how long you want it to be silent. Now for this next tip, let's say you've already enabled Dolby Atmos and you're even using the ultra high quality upscaler, there's still room to improve your listening experience. Up until now, you've been improving and manipulating how sounds are heard. Now you can affect what sounds are heard by using a custom EQ in the sound quality and effects menu. So these are related, but they are two different things. If you're not sure which one of the EQ presets to choose, even slightly adjusting the custom option might improve the sound for you. So you can just a touch increase the low end, mid-range at around 1K, upper mids at 8K, and top end at 16K. That's all you need. You don't need to do anything crazy here. This arrangement is dynamic enough, which is suitable for most modern music. But of course, there is no one size fits all. But there are also some EQ apps that you can download from the Play Store that have more presets and sometimes even allow you to customize your EQ in a more granular and detailed way. Yet in this next tip, I want to show you how you can go a step further and make any sounds that come out of your phone more personalized, including calls. So in the same menu as before, go to Adaptive Sound, turn it on and choose whether you want to apply it to media, calls, or both. What's cool is that you don't need to necessarily choose one of these options and can make it as personalized as possible. Just tap Add Personalized Sound Profile, wear your headphones, and press Start. Now this will analyze your hearing on left and right ears separately to create that very custom adaptive sound just for your ears. Just make sure you do this in a quiet place to get it right. All right, so we learned how to manipulate how we hear and perceive sound and what we hear in terms of those frequencies that we change with the EQ. Basically, all we're doing here is coloring sound. However, there are some folks who either because of their profession in the music industry or because that's just how they are, prefer to listen, especially to music, in a way that's as little colored as possible. So what this means is that the frequency responses are flatter than usual. In other words, if you want to listen to music on your Galaxy device in a way that the producers themselves heard it when they were making it in the studio, I have a tip for you. So for this one, you'll need to install this awesome app called Sound ID. After you've installed it, you need to do a hearing test in a quiet place while wearing your headphones. So technically, with this app, not only can you listen to your music in the studio reference mode, which is the way the producer wants you to hear it, and it's the flattest possible way, but also you can enhance your listening experience based on your hearing test and customize it that way instead of the one-size-fits-all approach that I showed you in the last tip. After that, you can easily switch between 3 different sound profiles: your hearing test, studio reference, or the community favorite. But here are 2 important tips for you. If you're using the studio reference profile, make sure you go back and turn off Dolby Atmos if you turn it on earlier and put the EQ back to normal, because otherwise you're still manipulating sound. If you're just using your own sound profile, that's okay. You can leave them as they are. And the second tip is that on the Devices tab, on the top right corner, tap the headphones icon and try to search for your headphones, because you might be lucky and be able to find your exact headphones you're wearing now for a pre-made calibration profile. But guys, if you would like to custom calibrate your own headphones to have the same listening experience on your computer too, then you can use the affiliate link in the description to send your headphones to this company to be calibrated, and you'll get back your headphones with a corrected frequency response in a few days. And by the way, you would need the SonarWorks software on your computer too. So check out the links in the description. We are far from over, and it's only going to get crazier from here. And there are many tips within this tip alone, and it's truly going to differentiate your phone from others. So here it goes. I'm going to press one of the volume rockers and see what happens. Whoa. See that? That's what I'm talking about. First, I'll go to the Galaxy Store and search for Sound Assistant and install it. Listen, I don't like installing too many third-party apps messing with my phone, but you'd be surprised to hear this is a secret Samsung app, not a third-party one. So rest assured, it's safe and secure. After that, I'm going to open it and then I'm going to tap Customize Volume Panel. I'm going to turn it on and then tap Custom. Then I can move it around. I can change it from right to left. I can make it show the volume level. See that number up there? That's the volume level. Or I can even make the volume button a floating one so it's always there. But look, if I now go to the expanded panel, I have even more controls here. For example, now you can also see the volume of the specific app that you're using in addition to the media volume. And if it's less than 100%, then when you press the volume button, you're going to see them both. It's amazing how it gives you more granular control. Now, if I go back to the main menu, under the second option, I can add lighting effects to the volume UI. This is getting so interesting. All right, down in the menu, you can see an option that says change step volume. If I don't change it for now and just change the volume, you can see for every press, it increases or decreases the volume by 10 steps by default. If you'd like to have more control, you can reduce this number to 1, which would adjust the volume by 1 step, or whichever number you chose. And here's a great one. Maybe you can't change the tracks on your headphones and you put your phone in your pocket, but then you have to take it out every time. Let's say you're in a gym or something and it's uncomfortable. I'm going to show you how you can change the songs without taking your phone out of your pocket. Just scroll further down, turn the control music with volume keys, and then if you tap again, you can even change whether the up or down buttons go to the next or previous song depending on how you put your phone in your pocket. There are 3 more things I want to show you here. When you're wearing your headphones and you're watching a video on your phone, depending on your headphones and your sensory input, you might notice some audio and video syncing issues. Well, here's how to fix it. Just further down, tap Bluetooth metronome and try to use this visual assistant to sync the Bluetooth audio yourself. That's next level stuff, honestly. Then there's this concert hall that'll only work if the Dolby Atmos is turned off. And finally, there's this funny voice changer if you want to have some fun. By the way, if you have any more sound related tips and tricks, comment below. The next tip is about music share, something you might have heard of, but you don't know how to use. And it's actually pretty simple, and it's probably already turned on by default on your phone. So you can go to the settings, then connected devices, then music share. So the way it works is that you connect your phone to a Bluetooth speaker, then your friend can also connect to the device through your phone, and then both you as the host and them will have control over the music itself and volume. And if they don't find you on their Bluetooth, then make sure the share devices with is set to everyone. This tip is another one of those features not a whole lot of people know about. Go to the settings, then accessibility, then hearing enhancements, then sound notifications, and turn it on. Now, if there's a smoke alarm going off, or somebody rings the doorbell, or your baby cries or something else, you'll get notifications about them. And for this next tip, if you don't happen to have a pair of ANC headphones with ambient sound control, then you can go to the same place as before, except this time go to Amplify Ambient Sound and turn it on. Now you hear your surroundings more clearly with a focus on conversations, although don't expect the same level of quality as a pair of ANC headphones ambient mode. This next tip can be very helpful too. With this trick, you can always play media from an app you want on a specific Bluetooth device. So let's say you want to always use your Bluetooth speaker with Spotify or YouTube. As another example, you can connect your favorite game on your phone to your soundbar. So the exact scenario you use it depends on you, but here's how it works. Go to the sounds and vibration settings, then all the way down, tap Separate App Sound. Then select your app and connect your device to that specific app. And here are a couple bonus tips for you guys. If you're wearing your headphones or earbuds and want to record a voice or something, you can actually record through them instead of the phone itself. So you can leave your phone in your pocket. Just head over to the voice recorder app and then settings and turn on Use Bluetooth when available. The second tip also allows you to record videos with your headphones, except you actually record an immersive 360 audio, not just stereo. But as far as I know, as of now, this feature is only available on this S23 and S24 series and Fold 4 and 5. Also, I'm pretty sure you like the tips and tricks in this video, which you can watch next.